All right, properties of special parallelograms today, section 6.4. We are going to continue with the properties of parallelograms. Now we're just going to look at special ones, as in specific parallelograms. And there are three specific parallelograms we're going to look at today. The first parallelogram is a rectangle. A rectangle is a quadrilateral with four right angles. Okay, a rectangle has the following properties. So it has four right angles. And then in a rectangle, the diagonals are congruent. What's it mean to be congruent? It means they are the same. So the diagonals are the exact same. So if I told you that HK up there is 12, what is GJ then? 12. Okay, same idea. So we recognize there's four right angles, and then we have a congruent diagonals. If I look up here, let's say I look just at what's drawn in. What does that make right there? That makes a... Oh, it's not drawn in up there. Just kidding. Patience. Oh, come on. Oh, that's weird. Yeah. What do I get there? I get a triangle. I get a triangle. And the triangle is actually a what type of triangle? I get a right triangle. That is important to remember later. Okay, the diagonals make a right triangle in a rectangle. Important to remember. The second shape we're going to talk about is a rhombus. A rhombus is a quadrilateral with four congruent sides.
It's a rhombus, not a rhombus.
Rhombus?
Rhombus.
We did have the discussion earlier that plural would be either rhombi or rhombuses.
No, it would be rhombi.
Huh?
Rhombi suggested by me.
No, that's suggested by me actually.
Oh, really?
But rhombi and rhombuses.
I would say rhombi.
Anyways, a rhombus has the following properties. So if a quadrilateral is a rhombus and is a parallelogram, that is true. Again, all of these still have all the properties of parallelograms. These are just additional properties that you can add. In a rhombus, the diagonals are perpendicular. What's it mean to be perpendicular? It means they're all...
The same.
Well, they're all the same, but they're also all what?
Same length.
90 degrees. They're all going to be 90 degrees. Perpendicular means they are all going to be 90 degrees. You will need to know that later. Another one is if a parallelogram is a rhombus, then each diagonal bisects a pair of opposite angles. What's it mean to bisect? It means cut in half. So angle T, that diagonal cuts it in half. Angle Q is cut in half. Angle R is cut in half. Angle S is cut in half. So diagonals cut the angles in half. The diagonals bisect the rhombuses or the rhombi. And the last special one is a square. A square is a quadrilateral with four right angles and four congruent sides. So basically it takes both the properties of a rectangle and a rhombus and puts them together and we get a square. Now recognize the difference. Okay? A square has to have four congruent sides and it has to have four right angles. A rectangle can just be four right angles and a rhombus can just be four congruent sides. Okay, so we have to recognize the differences. First one's here, numbers 1, 2, and 3. It says, tell whether each figure must be a rectangle, rhombus, or square based on the information given. Use the most specific name possible. Now, please take a note. Yes, I understand they all look like they are squares, but they are not. You have to use what is for sure given to you. You cannot assume things are congruent. You have to know what is given to you. Take a couple seconds to try these. So number one, as you look at this, what shape is it for sure? Joe, what do you say?
I did that, dude.
It is a rectangle.
Huh?
Number one is a rectangle. Recognize. All I know is the angles are the same. That's a rectangle. Number two is a what, Jace? That is a square. Nice job.
Oh my god.
And what about number three?
It works.
All right, last one, number three. What shape is number three, Allie? That is a rhombus. Nice job.
Would it really
You're
be
so lucky,
rhombi?
dude.
You looked it up.
I want to look it up.
I would do so much work.
All right, number four.
Can you please get me one of those?
Number four. It says ABCD is a rectangle. Okay, ABCD is a rectangle. I want to find each of the lengths. Now, I can find them in order, as in BD and then CD, then AC, then AE, or I can just find what I know to be true. So give me some information you know to be true about rectangles. Adam, what's something you know?
Okay, A and D is 12.
A and D is 12. I agree with that. Okay, because the opposite sides have to be congruent. Nice job.
I know something else.
What else something, Nico?
BD is 6.5 plus 6.5.
Nice job. So if this is 6.5, the other half has to be 6.5, meaning BD is 13. Okay, nice job. What about CD? How can I find CD? Morgan?
It's the same as BA.
It is 5. Nice job. It's going to be the same as the other side. What about AC? How do I find AC here?
It's 13.
Watch this.
It's 13 because the diagonals are the same. AC is 13.
Oh.
All right, last one here, number 7. I want to find AE. What would AE be, Tech? 6.5. Nice job. Again, AC is 13, so AE would have to be half of that. Next one. Number 8. I want to find KLMN is a rhombus. What's something we know about a rhombus? All these sides are the same. So it says to find KL. Well, KL is over here, and it does not give me any information. However, it does give me that LM is 3x plus 4, and MN is x plus 20. What am I going to do with those two segments? Set them equal to each other and solve for x. So set those equal to each other, solve for x, and work it out from there. Take a couple seconds to work that out. As I work this one out, I get 2x equals 16, x equals 8,
So it's 28.
and then I need to plug that 8 back in. I would plug it into this one probably because it's easier. X or 8 plus 20 gets me 28. Okay, nice job. Now the next one here. A lot of students want to look at this one and they say, hey, 9y and 2y plus 5. And what do they want to do? They want to set them. Do we though? No, they're not the same. Now this is a little bit tougher here. I need you to pay attention. These are not the same. I cannot set them equal to each other. They're not going to be equal to 180. They're not supplementary. What do I know about the angles right here though? All of these angles right here are 90 degrees. So what do I set 9y equal to? I set 9y equal to 90. And I could then solve for y. What would y be? Y is 10. I then take that and I plug it in for my bottom angle. 2 times 10 plus 5 gets me 25. However, I want to find angle MNK. MNK is this whole angle right here. So I then need to take 25 times 2, or 25 plus 25, either way you look at it. And MNK gets me an angle of 50 degrees. Now that is a multi-step problem. You will have one just like that in your assignment. All right? Recognize, in a rhombus, the angles in the middle are all perpendicular. They're all going to be 90 degrees. That's one of the properties. And the last thing we're going to talk about today, okay, is we're going to talk about in the coordinate plane. We want to show that the diagonals of square HJKL are perpendicular bisectors of each other. So 2 words should stand out to you here. First word is perpendicular. The other word is bisector. Perpendicular means what type of angle is perpendicular? 90 degrees. What does bisect mean?
Cut in half.
Cut in half. So if you look at this, they're doing 3 things. They are finding the distance. They are finding the slope. And they are finding the midpoint. What do you know? Those are 3 things we do daily on our warm-up. Okay? And what do you notice about the distances? They are the... What do you notice about the slopes? They are perpendicular. And what do you notice about the midpoints? They are the same. So in order for it to be the diagonals of a square, the distances have to be the same. The slopes have to be perpendicular bisectors. And the midpoints have to be the same. Yep. Slopes are perpendicular bisectors. Yep. So the next problem here is going to show this. Number 10 says the vertices of square JKLM are -2, 4, -3, -1, 2, -2, and 3, 3. It says find each of the following to show that the diagonals of square JKLM are congruent perpendicular bisectors of each other. So what do I need to do? I need to find the distance I need to find the slope, and I need to find the midpoint. 3 things we all agree we can do already, yes? So find J and L. I'm going to circle JL. Those 2 go together. And then K and M go together. Don't confuse them. Take a couple seconds, find this information on all 3 of those. It's all things that we should be able to do already. I want to find the distance of JL. What is the distance of JL? Yanni, what are you thinking? JL, square root of 52. That is correct. Nice job.
You get it.
I'm shooting.
Let me shoot from here.
So,
Wait,
what is the... So the difference of the x's is 4. The differences of the y's is 6. So that's 4 squared plus 6 squared, which gives me 52. Then I need to take the square root. What's the slope of JL then, Darian?
I got 6 of them.
-3/2, I believe it is, actually.
Yeah.
What's the midpoint then, Tiana? What? 0, 1. The midpoint is 0, 1. And then I need to find the distance of KM. What's the distance of KM, Ezra? That's the square root of 52. What's the slope of KM? Slope of KM, Studer?
2/3.
It is 2/3. And then what's the midpoint for KM, Tigger? It is 0, 1. So as I look at this, are my distances the same? Yes. Are the midpoints the same? Yes. Are my slopes perpendicular or negative reciprocals? So this is a perpendicular bisector then. This is everything we needed to know.
Do you have to make Jim
Awesome. No.
pay? Do you have to
Here is your assignment.